Alright, here we go. This is a ranked 2v2 on Thar between the Carbon team in the upper left. It is GAB41341432. That's a lot of numbers. And his teammate BelleFeeGore in the Phantom Bomber, and Gab was in a classic Warthog. And their opponents, it is the blue team in the bottom right. It is braydengoodman. Really long, but really easy to say because I'm American. And nullkuhl in the classic Neo and Gothic Osprey. Both teams going very standard for their left/right outposts. It's going to be hard to really specifically call that on Thar, I guess. I have to just call that left-right because there's no AirMech terminology that has been really created for those types of outposts. I guess if anyone should have done it, it should have been me, but I was too lazy to think of them. So there you go. Carbon team slightly ahead with the outpost grab, but it's pretty negligible. Blue team's going to be right behind them, and the Carbon team now starting to work on the top, and blue going for a corner, and I'm assuming going to sort of split. No, they're going to go hard corner. Okay, so that's one reason I like Thar, and, you know, maps like Thar and Sandrum and Crater kind of sometimes, but not really. But, yeah, these maps where it's so spread out, and there are much varying approaches to these types of maps. So Carbon team still, and Gab not really realizing that he's not getting full damage from that high ground, but able to neutralize the post already, and Carbon creeps are walking in. The blue team does have to ferry some creeps over, but handily neutralizes and destroys all the neutral units at that top right corner, and will eventually grab it. It looks like nullkuhl is going back for some creeps. No. Interesting. Very strange to see. But Carbon has been able to grab both of their sides outposts, and Bell gonna try to kill this neutral T-99 with a T-99 of his own and some bombs and a generator going down to, well, okay, I thought he was going to put it right behind the T-99 because that would have made the most sense, I think, personally. But it does look like nullkuhl and Brayden do realize that Bell is kind of approaching, but as a bomber and against Dillos are going to be really vulnerable to bombs as they are very much, you know, not health dense at all. Very much not at all. Whatever. And, whoa, who's making these heroes? nullkuhl. No, they're following. I'm not exactly sure who they're on follow for, but it does look like. Oh, let's see if anyone brought them. Let's see. Okay, so Brayden does look like he's the one that made them, and a couple of tank drops over here by nullkuhl, but getting handily, you know, handled. Wow, words are hard today. By BelleFeeGore. God, that's so weird to say. And the bombs. And actually, you know, with an outpost here to recharge, and basically an unlimited supply of bombs were coming from Bell, and there you go, nullkuhl getting finished off in the retreat. So Bell able to successfully defend. We do have a very large upkeep difference at this point in the game. It's 38 to 23. So the blue team is almost half, or slightly more than half of the Carbon team's upkeep, and Bell just gonna start bombing away like crazy, and nullkuhl gonna go for the. Okay, gonna go for a neutralization on their left side. So 3 infantry. Oh no, 2 tanks and 2 SAMs, which is kind of a strange combination. While Brayden is distracting Bell for a little while, and all the heroes get taken out. Brayden getting focus fired and does get away barely before getting finished off there. And nullkuhl is actually able to neutralize that outpost and just needs a couple more infantry, and so that cheese will actually work pretty well. Completely unnoticed by the Carbon team. So we do see a kind of an obvious skill level in this match right now. nullkuhl taking this left side with plenty of units to defend. But in the meantime, Gab and Bell, finishing Brayden in the air, but Gab and Bell easily clearing all of blue team's stuff here at the top right, and Bell with a couple of jumpers might want to start to like land and slash or something like that. A couple of bot spawners over here in the top left for the blue team, keeping their outposts under their control for now, and shooters pounding away at longhorns. Well, pounding is the right word. It's like sniping, like poking away at the longhorns, and nullkuhl there to handle it pretty quickly. But Bell with plenty of jumpers here to neutralize this outpost. And finally, the bot spawner's not able to keep up with the you know, with the damage going down on that top right outpost. Bell takes this outpost and bunkers a couple jumpers, so that's going to be pretty secure as long as he follows through with that bunkering. And nope, just one, so I guess not. and dropping some jumpers down there for attack against Brayden. And does look like nullkuhl is massing a force here on the bottom or on the left side, but wow, that is quite a defense by the Carbon team. Tons of moneymakers actually, I didn't notice that, but Tesla towers and lots of gaddies, so that will probably handle a lot of tanks. As long as it's supported by a mech, it'll handle it fairly well. And it does look like Gab just trying to air to ground here while nullkuhl is microing these flackers around. And as the Osprey, going to be able to keep him alive pretty easily, while Gab is just going to be taking damage. Will this, no, okay, nullkuhl is not going to go for the chase right there, but Gab was actually pretty low on health, and if nullkuhl changed his focus to shooting Gab, he might have been able to get that finish there. So Bell just bombing away, 38 to 53, an easy, amount of damage done by the bomber, not really being contested at all. There's not really any AA over here. I guess these two T-99s, but Bell, realizing that, drops infantry to the right of this outpost and neutralizes it and will be able to take it. What does he have in build queue? Does not bring anything out of queue, which is a little bit interesting, so this will go right back down to neutral. And nullkuhl with his mass. Again, though, there is a lot of defenses over here for the Carbon team. Although it is gaddies against Longhorn, it's, at the fort and probably with a supporting mech. So if he just does try to push with this current mass, it's not going to be very easy to accomplish. Trying to heal up what he can against that bomber bombs. But, and it's funny, no one's really touched mid yet. It's just like the creeps that have been killing it and stuff like that. And the shooters that were placed here before. Mid will eventually be taken by Carbon, but now at 6 minutes into the game and no one really going for mid directly. It's kind of crazy to see that in a whatever level game. But I guess with the way that the game has played out so far, the layout of the outpost control, that kind of does make sense, I guess. And it does look like nullkuhl and Brayden are both here to try to mount a fight from this point. This outpost has gone to Carbon, and it does look like blue team is pushing out. This does look very dangerous for the blue team unless they start microing like crazy once it gets about here to avoid this bottleneck and all of that, defensive Carbon units right there. And nullkuhl trying to kill Bell here in the retreat, and Bell actually getting caught by a couple flackers in that push right there. So the brutes do neutralize that post, but nullkuhl is here to heal up whatever he can. I would love to see some micro out of nullkuhl over here. This is technically... I would say this is basically an all-in. The blue team doesn't really have anything anywhere else, except for right there, and it's very light. And no micro by nullkuhl, easily going to be cleaned up by the AoE of the bomber in BelleFeeGore. And Gab with a focus fire on those tanks as well. So now the blue team is way behind, 55 to 21 in terms of upkeep. And nullkuhl going to desperately try to go for, I don't know what. The Carbon team is now actually upkeep cap. They will take this outpost back pretty soon and get, be able to start making more units. But it's kind of weird to see the amount of time that's already been passed, and the number of units on the field are very low, and no one's gone for mid, which again is really crazy. nullkuhl just trying to get a neutralization over here. Not going to go for mid. Going to try to go with the stronger play, which is a lot harder to pull off. I don't know if riskier is the way to put it, but I guess because it's harder to pull off, it is riskier in that sense. Although he's only risking the 3 units that he brought, and actually Brayden has a couple of brutes over here, and nullkuhl trying to get back to that post, but Bell getting that finish before he can actually do so. So it does look like Gab is, oh my god, that is a lot of defenses here. This is close to 2-star Mavericks on Gab's side, to be quite honest. And now Bell going to go with a couple jumpers, trying to neutralize this bottom left here, actually going to try to kill the Longhorn first. And not have to deal with them, I guess.
Lost an outpost, Commander.
Oh, well, who lost an outpost? I guess the middle. Okay, I guess I was focused on Carbon team, but that's a lot of infantry actually going down the middle, and nullkuhl actually realizing he has middle under his control, so does try to defend it just a little bit. A couple of not useless, but easy to defend against jumpers are dropped over here, and Bell just bombing, and ferrying a few infantry himself, mostly brutes, trying to neutralize this outpost, but actually, Brayden could do a little bit of micro to enhance this defense, and I don't even know if he has stasis. I would assume no at this point. Yeah, it does actually, just level 1, but level 1 is enough to do it. Stasis effect, I think, just lasts longer with higher levels of stasis. I'm not exactly sure, but it does look like the blue team will be able to hold for now. Oh no, neutralize does go down, but the carbon roots have been finished off. So this is a very strange map split, I must say. No one's gone for island at all yet, not even like considered, it looks like. And there are tons of turrets over here defending the fort for the carbon team. So yeah, just kind of an indicator of how much game sense that the player that put that down has, pretty much. Gab trying to just fire in. A Longhorn and a couple of infantry are going to be blocking his path, so you might want to start firing as much as possible at the front. Oh, but as the Osprey is there, it's going to be very difficult to focus anything down as long as the Osprey's constantly healing up. But with this bomber friend here bombing away, they might actually be able to clear a decent amount of units. And Bell actually pretty low in health, and Gab actually pretty low in health, so they both definitely need to retreat there as more creeps start to walk in for the carbon team. The blue team creeps are actually going to this top right corner, and I don't think we'll eventually neutralize it, no. Especially with the two bot spawners over here for the carbon team, we'll easily be able to keep up there, I would say. But it's 83 to 46. Blue team's kind of catching up slightly. Does look like Bell's going to go for another neutralization here at the bottom outpost. But does look like Gab will assist. No. Okay, they just kind of gave up. I guess Bell wants the neutralization before he drops the jumpers, which is definitely not a smart play, I would say. And Bell actually going to get focused here by nullkuhl. Does not drop his units in time to transform. And there you go. nullkuhl getting the kill on Bell in the retreat, so that was pretty ridiculous. And Brayden again has a couple of jittery heroes. That was funny to see. Following him for some strange reason. Heroes with Neo is nothing I've ever seen before. It's not the kind of synergy that you would expect to see from anyone trying to you know, make a synergistic loadout, because there is almost none. Really. But a unit mass forming for the blue team, who actually has an outpost advantage right now. Oh, no. It's 3 to 3. Sorry, my bad. No one has gone for the corner right now. And Gab and Bell going to try to just attack with their mechs once again. And Gab actually really low in health. And nullkuhl going to be able to get the finish over here. 4 energy guardians lost along with Gab. And Bell going to retreat back to the corner outpost there. Not too much really on the field for the blue team, except for at that middle outpost. Bell does kind of realize that, I guess, but again going to go for a neutralization instead of trying to kill the units over here. I guess trying to focus down this T-99, but a single unit is not exactly what you want to go for as the bomber, unless you're using Mantis Strike, and even then Mantis Strike has you know, multiple hit potential. And Bell actually going to get very, very close to death, but does drop his jumpers to fly away quickly and manage to escape with a sliver of health. But nullkuhl here to respond now, so Bell is not going to be able to get this neutralized, and actually gets finished off by nullkuhl as well. So what is the blue team going to choose to do? They can just, you know, wait, because the carbon team has that at fort, so they're not really being threatened at all. Nothing can go for the kill when it comes to the what the carbon team has against the blue team. And now blue team going to drop a couple tanks to neutralize this left side. And enough infantry by nullkuhl over here to almost take it. They need one more, and I would assume he's coming back with that as well, the 2. And a couple of jumpers dropped on the right side, but I don't think it's really much that the blue team needs to sweat about. They might get this neutralization, but 1 infantry already did get killed, and the creeps are actually walking in, so nullkuhl responding to that, easily getting this defense off Bell. And Gab really need to start to pick it up and maybe convert their turret units to mobile tanks, so they can actually do something with it rather than just hold off the inevitable. And Bell with a couple of creeps, not going to drop them anywhere, just going to heal up. So the blue team definitely has the advantage now, taking that left outpost. It is 4 to 2, and the income difference is definitely going to start to show now, as the blue team is at 67 out of 104, and the carbon team is at 80 out of 64 upkeep. And where is the unit number there? Let me hit B. Nope, that is weird. That just didn't show up. That's very, very weird. Yeah, not really sure what's up with that. But the carbon team has actually dropped a couple of Gorgons over here, and a hat actually getting nullkuhl killed off screen. But it does look like Brayden has been able to neutralize this top right with a couple of Gaddies and his own Neo Fire. Where right now it does look like Bell is just bombing away the blue unit force that they have on this left side, and will most likely get this kill here. Needs to do a couple more passes to get this unit cluster finished off, but doesn't look like it's going to be attempted to be saved by the blue team at all. No, yeah, nullkuhl really needs to just pull back right now, and actually really low on health, getting hammered by those Gorgons, and does get killed one more time. So Bell and Gab actually have a chance to push back here. They need to take this top outpost back and and kill this Gaddy. That's really, really crucial. They definitely need to take a glance at their minimap to see what is going on in the overall battle. And Bell dropping the Q heal, and Brayden getting finished off by Gab. Whereas nullkuhl gonna try to just do some leapfrog micro to handle this double team 2v1 scenario right now. Gangsters coming out. They really needs to save these tanks and pull them back. There you go. He might actually even be able to push out to either one of the top or left outposts with this quantity of units, but definitely needs teammate support. If the Carbon team is going to stay together, it's going to be a little bit hard to handle them, especially because Bell is a bomber with those bombs, and there's not that much AA. In fact, I don't think there's any AA in this. Yes, in this group of units right there. I guess Gangster, if anything, but that's pretty much negligible for a level, what is it, 9 bomber. It's just like 2 Gangsters. These T-99s, however, it's not really in the group of mobile units, but if Bell starts to try to bomb here, and actually is focusing down single units, which is really strange to see. Usually if you want to bomb, you want to try to hit as many units as possible, not necessarily to snipe a single unit down. There's obviously a couple of positive applications for sniping down with bombs, usually when there's too much ground, heavy ground units like Goliaths or something like that, and bombs aren't really going to do too much, and there's a single, or one or two, lower health dense unit, then you could probably snipe that away from the high health dense Goliath heavy or whatnot unit cluster. But except for that kind of scenario, you definitely want to try to hit as many units as possible, and Bell trying to boost away here, and successfully does, but Brayden got him pinned down, and okay, so Bell's able to get away there. And I said got some, if you heard that, guys. I'm that little bit of my streak coming out, or slip of tongue. You decide. I say street. You can say whatever you want. Oh, and Bertha's raining down from the right side. I don't think the blue team's aware that that's that's actually happening. I don't know if they can actually see that on their minimap. Kind of a strange thing that now you cannot see what's on minimaps. So if I go to players 2, yeah, Fog of War is no longer represented. It's kind of sad. I have not been with Fog of War. Sorry, I've been without Fog of War in Spectator for a very, very long time now. I'm very, very sad about that. It would be nice if they could add that back in. But as of right now, the blue team is okay. So Bell has a decent unit cluster to bomb over here. If you can just concentrate on, dropping as many bombs on that, on the overall unit cluster rather than just a single one or so, then he might be successful. And the Berthas have actually neutralized this outpost, hilariously enough. The blue team has not noticed the Berthas yet. I think they have noticed, obviously, that it has gone neutral, but have they realized what's actually causing that? I don't think so, because I think this is roughly, let's see, this is roughly the, the camera. Okay, no, this, I think, is roughly the camera when you're playing, give or take, not this all the way zoomed out. And here we go, Bell gonna be bombing down, but bombing down the outpost and not the units, which I guess kind of works as long as you can successfully do it and follow up. Keep going, do not stop, and keeping on bombing the units as well. You need to clear the units there, and then eventually do something with your own to be able to make something happen. And nullkuhl just, just bring his units behind this post so they can take cover from any creeps that walk in. But definitely need more AA against this bomber. And even the Warthog. So, you got a lot of DPS heavy, strong mechs like that. You definitely want to go a little bit more on the AA side in terms of army composition, so you can prevent them from really abusing those really strong mechs, or at least deter them to some degree, and maybe get a finish with mech focus fire in a retreat or something like that. And Brayden still, or not Brayden, sorry, Gab still with these 2 Berthas and the honeypot back there and the generator, so the Warthog will be able to just fire away and Q heal. Oh my gosh, and Bell with that crazy, now there you go, getting the middle of the unit cluster, and the napalm getting a lot of units killed, can continue doing the bombing as well. And there you go, at level 4 bombs, I would assume, especially at level 10, and no, actually level 3 bombs, but that's still definitely good enough to do just that he did right there, and is going to continue to do a bombing run and finish off the rest of these units. Could even drop and start to slash and get the kill, but doesn't want to risk it because there's no AA over here. It's very, very safe for him to just continue bombing, and it does look like Gab is also aiding with that air to ground, and Brayden looks like he's just AFK at this point. So nullkuhl, does seem like nullkuhl is by himself in this battle, and the middle outpost is almost completely clear of blue units, 31 to 78. So the blue team is way, way, way behind. And at this point, it does look like the carbon team can start to just build up more units. But if they don't build up mobile units, they are not really going to be able to take control of the map. These turrets, unless they start leapfrogging them like absolute madmen, are not going to be able to, you know, get them to win this game. Just they're only going to really be able to prevent them from not, you know, from losing, basically from not getting taken over. And nullkuhl actually able to kill one of the Berthas using that Goliath, and actually able to heal it up. So it does look like, is Brayden back? Kinda has a couple of Archies in queue. Oh, or not in queue, in cargo. So that's kind of crazy. That's a 2v1 scenario for nullkuhl right now. Gonna try to, saves that T99, and Bell is actually pretty low on health, really, really low in fact. And okay, there you go, does get the Q heal. Will nullkuhl be able to get this finish? No, Bell able to boost away, which is crazy. And does look like Brayden trying to, I don't know exactly what he's trying to do, doing something crazy. Trying to drop some hidden artillery on the fort side. Trying to hit drop, I think, but not able to get it to drop over here. So he needs to pick a spot that's actually a you know, has nav mesh underneath. And Bell trying to focus by Brayden, but Brayden getting back to the middle outpost just fine. While Gab still has a single Bertha and a T99 protecting with a honey pot to heal up and a generator to heal himself up, or at least to top himself off. And Bell still just doing nothing but bombing. A bomber, a favorite for a lot of mid-tier players, mostly because, you know, you don't have to land. You can just continue doing the bomb. And if you be careful, it's a very low risk operation. This the bombing runs, because you know, a lot of mid-tier games don't make that much AA. As you can see here, there's not much AA on the field at all. It's, if anything, it's AA in the form of turrets like T99s, which is just kind of meh. I guess there's a lot of hats over here at the fort, but that's mostly because of the kind of the noob trap type of thing, where noobs over defend their fort. So that's kind of unfortunate here. So you know, the blue team could probably, you know, eventually, I'm going to say probably eventually here, get an advantage, or like a distinct advantage, unit advantage in this game, as long as they keep their units focused, they babysit them well, and just start to mass up without trying to take too many risky, you know, drop plays or anything like that. They need to invest all of their credits into an army that they plan to blob up and, you know, send to an enemy outpost. And this Bertha, I don't think, is in range of this outpost. So this unit cluster here is basically doing nothing but allowing Gab to retreat to it. So it does look like we have a couple of Goliaths moving forward. I don't think they're going to go all the way to fort, because that would be kind of suicide if nullkuhl scouted at all. Oh, but actually is going to start to drop behind enemy lines, but not on attack command. Needs to drop it on attack command to do damage to the fort. Otherwise, they're just going to attack nearby units and not really do the job that you probably want them to do. But he might be trying to just put these on hold position as an Osprey, and he can just keep them alive, but does get finished off because it's extremely flak AA heavy with all the hats over here. And yeah, just a flyover got him killed. So these Goliaths are most likely going to die to this bomber and this Warthog, but actually taking a decent amount of damage, you know, while they get finished off. And the blue team has actually gotten the carbon team to about a third of their health. So if they continue with the drops and the carbon team does not put up a lunchbox, which I don't think they have right now. Yes, they do not have a lunchbox right now. They actually might be able to pull this one out in, you know, in reasonable amount of time. It's 24 minutes in the game right now, so we are way into level 4 creeps, which come out at the 15-minute mark. And the Goliath, will it be dropped on attack? Yes, it will be dropped on attack. And nullkuhl just needs to keep it healed up, and it's going to do a lot of damage. Actually, it's going to tick away at this carbon fort health. And if the carbon team does not put anything down in blocking position, then it will be an easy drop win for the blue team. And that scary death sound is now coming out, and it's really terrifying. And the Goliath is still doing it, and actually gangsters get thrown down here, but those hats are actually going to get nullkuhl killed. But will it matter? This Goliath still has plenty of health, and it is just shooting and slamming this fort, and that is going to be it. A drop win victory for the blue team, courtesy of nullkuhl on this rank 2v2 on Thar over the carbon team. BelleFeeGore and Gab, bunch of numbers. So interesting play by both teams. I mean, yeah, guys, you just gotta stop massing all your turrets at fort, because you can't keep worrying about all of those, drops. You have to respond yourself to those drops as a mech, and you need to keep an eye on your radar so you can handle that. Make sure to block either with your mech itself or with units to prevent that damage from happening. But yeah, yeah, the outpost is gone. The game is over. But yeah, it's just not conducive to winning games. It's just conducive to losing slower. That's pretty much it. So over defending your fort, bad. Okay. Making mobile units to have the option to move out, good. And both teams had a very large advantage at different points in time in that game that they could have used to if they had the mobile army, they could have moved out, taken over outposts, rather than, like, for example, that push that nullkuhl sent out went straight to the fort. He might have been able to go to the other side across the way to take that top outpost away from carbon team, and from there they would have cut them off from the top right corner, for example. So just bunker down outpost by outpost by outpost, get a couple things socketed, get a couple of infantry bunkered, and that'll hold out for a decent amount of time. As long as you keep an eye on your radar, you should be good from, besides any large pushes or secret rushes or something like that. So I don't know. That's just the kind of advice that veterans tend to give new players or even mid-tier players. As you could see, the carbon team had a massive advantage at one point, but because they kind of didn't really use it, the blue team was able to go from post to post. Even though they lost a lot of units, the carbon team never became more aggressive than Bell constantly bombing, for example. So just keep watching videos, guys. Keep watching higher ranked players play, and you can see what they do. And if you have any questions as to why they do what they do, leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer whatever questions I can. Go to the AirMech Discord and ask questions there. I know that this community doesn't have a lot of instructional videos and all that stuff, mostly because the game keeps changing so rapidly. It's hard to keep up, and instructional guides and stuff like that they tend to become outdated very quickly, so the motivation to create them is not really there. So again, if you have any questions, just ask people in global chat, ask me here in the comments, ask in Discord. The more everyone learns and the more people spread their knowledge, the better it is for the game. And that's all that we can all hope for. All right. Check out video description, submit replays, install AirMech Replay Manager, and keep playing the game. This is RUI, and that is game. See you next time.